Hey YouTubers, this video I'm going to be talking about dealing with some um, some of my ailments. I know if y'all have been if you have been following, I know I said I was going to start talking about my health journey and kind of like letting you guys get like a microscopic view of what it's like for me to deal with some of my health issues. So one of the things that I deal with is gut issues, and I wanted to kind of talk about that in relation to being on the road. Well, I say being on the road like I'm like it's truck driving, but no, like being on the road as a rideshare driver. So whether that's Lyft, Uber, DoorDash, Grubhub. So I've dealt with gut issues pretty much my whole life. And I didn't realize that I was lactose intolerant until maybe about like, mm, I want to say like 17, 18, maybe before. Um, and so I've always dealt with like some issues with like, trying to figure out the right foods to eat, trying to figure out, why I do have those pains. But I wanted to talk about it in relation to being a rideshare driver, because I think what a lot of people don't realize is how important it is to have a healthy diet and routine. I mean, in general, right? But especially when you're on the road, when you don't have as much time, when you're not at home to be able to cook. Um, and things like that. So, some of the things that I do is specifically on the weekend, if I've been kind of like on an unhealthy routine as far as with what I've eaten, I will go on a liquid fast. So that's what I'm doing this weekend. I um I have a bad habit when I do that though of drinking a lot of sugary drinks. So like I'll go somewhere like maybe Walmart and get one of those boathouse farm drinks, which it's like mango or it's like all of these different fruits, but it has a lot of sugar. And so I have like a huge problem with sugar, which of course still contributes to gut issues. So one of the drinks that I do get sometimes is a organic coconut water. It's a little sugary, but it's not as sweet as the boathouse farm drinks. But it kind of helps to keep me energized throughout my ride share driving, and yeah, to keep me hydrated. And I think another issue that I've had that has like contributed to my gut issues, of course, is dehydration. That's probably the biggest thing. So learning how to find the right type of water, because a lot of times the waters that I drink, for whatever reason, whether it's um, purified or distilled, it's still very dehydrating. And I know I've heard other people say that they've experienced that. So like trying to find the right water um, to like give you some type of like hydration, in the midst of um, like the if you're drinking like fruit juices or anything like that, because I think what I'm trying to say is like I will, if I'm going on a fast like right now where I'm only drinking liquids, I'll kind of lean into too many sugary drinks, too many fruit juices. But in order for me to have a good balance and to not overdo it with the sugar, I have to incorporate water, of course. But it's kind of hard to find a water that's not dehydrating. There was a really good one that that me and my significant other found at Dollar Tree, but um, we bought it maybe like 4 or 5 bottles one time, and then after that they just ran out of it, and we never saw it again. I can't even remember what kind of water it was, but it was an alkaline water, and it was really good with just keeping me hydrated, helping with my digestion. So that's what I would recommend, like just preparing yourself when you're going on the road to know that, it's not the same type of access, and that like you don't have as much time, unless, I mean, you can make your own schedule, so you can make your own time, but it's just not the same access that you would have if you were just at home, or even at, a job where you're sitting down and you have time to like warm something up. Like it's just not the same. So you really have to have a game plan, especially if you're somebody like me who has struggled with gut issues for a long time. Now, one thing that I am doing in a midst of fasting on the weekends is cutting dairy out. Now, of course, I know I've been lactose intolerant for a long time. I used to like have really bad gut issues when I was a kid because I was drinking milk because I didn't know I was, I haven't been diagnosed as lactose intolerant. I diagnosed myself because I could see the pattern of every time I drank milk or ate ice cream, my body would just like shut down. So, you definitely want to do that, like cut out heavy foods, dairy, like while you're on the road, because it can really like make you shut down. Just like when you're eating regularly and you get sleepy, you don't want to do that like while you're on the road. So finding things that will kind of keep you alert, things that are kind of light. So eating like a lot of times I'll eat like fruit throughout the day, like watermelon or grapes. Oranges are really good for just keeping me perked up without like me using something like coffee or caffeine or anything like that. So yeah, like so this weekend I basically had to reset because I went back into my old habits of eating foods like ice cream and, too much meat, foods that don't serve my body that contribute to gut issues. And if you know anything about driving on the road, it's nothing worse than having stomach pains and gut issues while you're driving. I did a previous video about anxiety, but that can also contribute to anxiety. Like if you're eating heavy foods, especially during the summer, where like the heat, the sun can be really draining. You you want to keep a lot of fluids that'll keep you light and you know able to continue driving. Um, so yeah, so the thing is, it's like when the thing that I know that I will mess up and do is that I will become too dependent on like temporary fixes to gut issues instead of fixing the real problem, which is like how I eat in general. So for instance, like I may like go 2 or 3 weeks or even longer, like eating anything I want to eat, like a lot of meat, not pork because I don't eat pork, but like beef sausages, ice cream, like all of these things, pizza, and because I know of ways to like detox my body, I use those as like temporary fixes. So I'll eat whatever I want to eat, and then I'll like say I'll go on a fast for 4 or 5 days, and I'll reset my body. The issue with that is you don't want to become dependent on those. Even though fasting is a great thing that you can do, you can create a schedule out of that, whether it's doing it 12 hours a day or doing it every weekend. But you don't want to become dependent on that for your long term health, if that makes sense. So like fasting helps to reset the body, and the idea is to get back into a healthy lifestyle of eating and drinking so that when you do fast, your body doesn't have to work as hard. I also have a lot of other things like my significant other, she told me about she told me about she taught me about Epsom salt. So I'll put some Epsom salt in water, and that's also because it has magnesium, just like watermelon. So that'll kind of clean you out too. Or I'll go to a beauty supply store and get ballerina tea, which also does the same thing, cleans you out. Or I'll drink wormwood tea, which is a really good um, parasitic fighter, and but it also helps with digestion and spirulina. So all of these different herbs, but they're still, it's not meant to be. a substitute for the long term goal, which is for me like less dairy, or no dairy, no meat, a lot more fruits, mainly fruits, vegetables, incorporating more oil. So like if I do cook vegetables, like incorporating more like olive oil, coconut oil, things that can really like help to lubricate your intestines so that the food can slide through more easily. Of course, like finding the right type of water, to kind of like cleanse, keep your system cleansed. Like that's the main goal. And so you just want to keep that, all of that in mind, like when you're um like navigating your health, especially like as a ride share driver. Um, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I know I'm kind of going all over the place, but yeah. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm actually, this is the coconut water I was talking about. If y'all can see that, it's a glare on it, but it's called Harmless Harvest. Now, like I said, it is a little sugary, so if somebody else can find a coconut water that's, I think it's 14 grams. It says it's no added sugars, but I feel like it's some added sugars. It tastes like it's some added sugars. It doesn't. I know what pure coconut water tastes like, and I don't think this is it. So you know, take that as you will. But um, yeah. So like that's kind of like the sticky part of it. It's like it's not so much that it's hard for me to fast. It's that I'm finding the right um like drinks, so that I'm not overdoing it on sugar or caffeine, because it can still be harmful to do a fast if you're not doing it right. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like I don't have a problem with fasting while I'm driving because I still find things that are very hydrating. But I'm kind of like in a battle of finding like less sugary drinks, drinks with less caffeine. But this, hopefully, this kind of gives you some type of like blueprint to like tackling your health while you're driving, because it is very important. Because if you think about it, you're not getting a lot of exercise. On the weekends I drive 12 hours a day, so that whole time I'm sitting down, I'm not exercising, so there it really takes a toll on your body. So the last thing you want to do is to eat foods that's gonna make your digestive system work even harder, because you're already not getting enough exercise, if you're driving like I am. So yeah, just want to keep that in mind. But I'm gonna keep like figuring out other foods and drinks, other herbs and regimens that I can use to kind of like ease my digestive system, because it's something that I've dealt with my whole life, and it's something that I really want to help myself and other people learn how to navigate, especially rideshare drivers. Another thing that really helped, that my significant other told me about, was digestive enzymes. So if you go to Walmart, I think the brand is Nature Bounty or something like that. But they have these digestive enzymes, and basically you take them before every meal. And the idea is that it's going to help contribute to the healthy gut bacteria that's going to help digest your food. A lot of times, most people, including myself, especially me, the reason why your body can't digest the food the way that it's supposed to, no matter what type of food it is because you don't have enough healthy gut bacteria to even break down the food. So a lot of times the food is just sitting in your system, even if it's healthy, even if it's like vegetables, or um grains, or whatever. Like if you don't have enough gut bacteria, your body's still not gonna be able to break it down, if that makes sense. So you have to have enough in you to actually digest everything down. Another thing is, and I didn't know this either, I just learned this maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago, is it also depends on when you eat. Um, I think it's Yada. Um, yeah, I think that's who. Yeah, I think that's who my girlfriend was telling me about, Yada. But he posted a video, and she also told me this too, about there are certain times to eat. So like usually in the morning before 12 and after 7 o'clock, you need to give your body a break, because that's when your digestive system is working to kind of break down all of the food that you ate the day before. And also, like, that's why sleep is so important, because from 10 o'clock at night to 2 in the morning, if you're sleeping on the schedule, the way the sun rises and sets, from 10 o'clock at night to 2 in the morning, um your body is breaking down while you're asleep, is breaking down everything that you ate. Your digestive juices are really working. But if you're not getting the proper sleep, you're not getting the proper digestion. So that's why sleep is so important, and that's why I'm just kind of like, I'm glad that I haven't eaten this weekend, because I didn't get enough sleep last night. I didn't sleep well. um but it's really important to get enough sleep and to eat um at certain times. So, that's why I've heard this before. That's why they use the term breakfast. So if you eat breakfast in the morning, you're breaking your fast. Now, of course, this is not professional advice that I'm giving to anyone. Like, my dad is diabetic, so I would never tell him not to eat in the morning. I don't necessarily know how to navigate that, but this is for people that aren't diabetic, that just have gut issues. Eating in the morning, you really don't want to do that. You might want to just drink some water. Um, or something to just kind of like rehydrate your body. So I usually try to drink something really hydrating in the morning. And then around 12 o'clock is when you can start eating like a light fruit or something like that, to kind of like introduce your body to, just um, digestion and breaking down something. And then you don't want to eat after 7 o'clock. I know y'all have probably heard that before. You don't want to eat too late, because um, not only can it affect your sleep, but it can cause your body to work too hard at night. So between 12 and 7 is kind of really when you want to eat. In the morning, you just kind of want to drink water. Um, Same thing, kind of like around 7 or 8. So that really helped me, because when I realized that, because I'm gonna eat all times of the day type of person. I'll eat at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning. So that really helped. Like, it's kind of like intermittent fasting. Like, you're giving your body a chance to actually do the work. But if you're constantly packing food in there, and then you're trying to go on the road and drive people around and engage with people, it's gonna take a lot out of you, and it's gonna give you that fatigue. It's gonna be really hard on your digestive system. So that's where I'm at. I'm not 100% healed. I'm still trying to. This has been a year's journey of trying to reverse harmful habits that I've developed over the years. So I'm not saying that I'm anywhere close to like being where I want to be. I wanted to share that, because um, I know that that's like a huge issue that plagues a lot of Americans, because nobody, really teaches us this stuff in school. They may mention it, but they don't really like drive it home and make you realize how important it is to like eat on a certain schedule, sleep on a certain schedule, only eat certain foods, like figure out which foods are right for your body, um, based on your body type and all of these. Like, it just doesn't happen. So I kind of wanted to start the ball with that because like I said, I know I've been struggling with some gut issues. But if anybody else has any comments or tips, I know this was a pretty long video, longer than usual, but I'm really passionate about good health, and especially good health while you're working, even if you're not a rideshare driver, like even if you're working a 9 to 5 or sitting in the office or a more active job, it's really important to know how to maintain your health. So, like I said, of course, I'm going to make some more videos about this. Let you all know how I'm coming along in my journey. But if anybody else has any tips or recommendations, please comment below. And if you all are interested, please follow or subscribe to my page, Lost Art 2839. And I will hopefully talk to y'all later.